It's starting to sound very complicated. It's not. When I show you in practice, it's not that complicated. The best way to do this is to go onto Fiverr and get someone to do it for 20, 30, 40 pounds.
Profit Pilot.
So we're starting to get somewhere now with the e-commerce site. We've chosen the platform that we're going to be working on. We've started to sort out the brand. We started to understand what a brand actually means. We started to look at the copy. And what we need to start doing now is thinking about how we tell Google, how Google finds out about what our website is about. So this is something called SEO, search engine optimization. Most people will start to think, I need to get the search engine. I need to get it ranked up in Google. I need to outcompete everybody else. They're my competition. And they're not. How I want you to start thinking about SEO is how can we best tell Google what this website is about, who it's for, what it's about, what they can do. Now, back in the day, search engines they were still sophisticated, but they weren't nowhere near as sophisticated. Google started to use a semantic search, trying to understand the meaning behind different words. The same word can have multiple different meanings, can't it? It's all contextual. They start to use machine learning, AI. They start to use data. Google gives you all these fantastic tools to use, like Google Analytics. Google does everything for a reason, and it's for its own purposes. But again, that's how I want you to start thinking about it. You got to remember that when people go onto the search engines, it's connective tissue between thought processes and your website. That's how I want you to start thinking about Google. So people might be going onto Instagram on the mobile. They might be on the bus on the way home. They might be down the gym. So they're in a different mindset already. And then so people have got different levels of intention. So what we want to do is we want to start connecting Instagram, Facebook, Google Ads. We want to start pulling more because most people will use Google. So it's important for us to tell Google what the website is about as opposed to trying to rank. We can do that through many different ways of doing it, but it's mainly through copy. And there's certain elements on a web page that have different prominence in the Google search engine. So again, if we break it back down into, let's say you've got a book and you've got the title. Let's say it's a non-fiction cookery book. And the title says Southeast Asian cuisine. So we know it's not going to be American cooking, it's going to be Southeast Asian cuisine. And then it's going to go into the first page, it'll be starters. And then it'll have different recipes, whatever. So similar kind of thing with a website. We'll have the title. So what is this page about? Then we'll have subtitles. And the prominence of those subtitles tells Google how important that is to that page. And it's starting to sound very complicated. It's not. When I show you in practice, it's not that complicated. So what we need to start doing is we need to start thinking about the keywords or the thoughts people are putting into the search engines to find your website. And an easy way to do that is something called keyword research. Now, the best way to do this is to go onto Fiverr and get someone to do it for 20, 30, 40 pounds. They'll use software called SEMrush or Ahref. They'll use software and they can start to tell how many people are searching a particular month at a particular keyword. And you can also start to work out level of intent. Remember the temperature of water I was talking about? You can start to work out level of intent from that as well. So we'll start to look at outsourcing keyword research so we can find out how many people are doing a search for what you're selling. And there'll be stuff like meta descriptions, which won't directly affect ranking. But it helps in the search engines when somebody does a search and you see a little bit of snippet code. So there's very subtle but very important changes you can make to your website to help with the SEO. There'll be other stuff as well. Do you remember when I said you need to start thinking about the information architecture, how that website can be laid out? So you'll have an About Us page. You might have an FAQ page. You might have a testimonials page. Every single website will be different. Every website should be different because every business is different. They all share the same fundamental frameworks, but each one's got a bit of uniqueness. So we can put keywords into the images. We can do internal linking. So as Google goes through the web pages, it jumps from link to link. This is why they're called hypertext links. This is how the website all first started out. This is why it's called the World Wide Web, because it's like you had spiders going out, crawling through these different pages, jumping from link to link, like spider web or whatever that's called. They're jumping from those to those. That's where it all comes from. And also how your URL structure as well. So your web address. It's going to be best if I go into a deeper video round based on this. But basically, get your keyword research done, outsource it on someone like Fiverr, and then you'll get an idea about the types of words people are using to find similar websites to yourselves. And then go with a mindset of how can I tell Google what this web page is about, as opposed to how can I rank.